Coach. Thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. Now it's Wilson. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick in the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
First down throw for Prescott. And incomplete to open things up. Coverage that time by Aaron Colvin.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Prescott. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And Beasley with it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Prescott from the gun on third. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Now back to the ground with Elliott. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
They keep on the ground with Elliott, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 and the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down throw for Prescott. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is starting.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Second down, Prescott. And he finds Beasley complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 10 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Now Elliott, and this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Prescott now on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Prescott on 3rd and goal. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
This is the running back, Blue. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. From the gun on third, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Looking to throw. Prescott drops it underneath to Elliott. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Prescott now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 1st down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Prescott from the gun. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber that runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. A give to Elliott. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Third and short yardage, Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Dallas first down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. The give is to Elliott. Down right around the 25. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
From the red zone now, Prescott. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now Prescott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And it's no good. Oh, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And out now come the Cowboys. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. Fighting him off. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Prescott looks to throw on first. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Watson hands this to Foreman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Watson on 3rd down. 1:59 to go in the 1st half. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing, Prescott. And this one caught by Beasley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Prescott. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Prescott. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Prescott. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Give him 30 yards there. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. And again, it's Prescott. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee. And okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. The guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On the toss, here's Foreman. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Right back to him on first down. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And his pass incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he's got it to Hearns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards there and a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. A give to Elliott running left. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They go to Elliott again, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better there.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. Only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Again, it's Foreman, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st down, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's Watson, option left. And he is going to get the 1st down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
So 2 1st downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now Foreman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the 2nd half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. Faking the give. Now Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down. Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Cowboys on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Prescott to throw it. And hauled in by Gathers. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup was just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes.
Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Cowboys on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game. And he's got a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. He hits Beasley right side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. To the air again, Prescott. His throw incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Prescott yet again. And this one brought in by Gathers. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Prescott on 3rd and goal, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Black 22! Black 22!
Throwing again is Watson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Down! Move ready!
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Down! Move ready!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Watson. Looking sideline, incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Watson now to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. Watson now to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. That one goes for 24 yards. It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Now it's Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Griffin. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Watson trying to get his guys moving. Now Watson. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
That was a dangerous throw towards the end zone. Boy, did it hang up there forever. Wanted to run up there and pull it down out of the sky.
Yeah, it felt like it really should have been intercepted. Lucky to have that one back.
You've got to be more careful when you're that close to the goal line.
Here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. To throw is Watson. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And nothing there on the return. They've got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, good move at the 10. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. On second down, Elliott. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. And they take a knee. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I am a boss in the cut, Mayday. Bubbles and I'm these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now. Dripping in the sauce.